and I got some negative reviews, man, I'd start taking the hits, and I started taking them personally, and I had nowhere to run. I had nowhere to go because I had made it all about me. Well, guess what? Now everybody's looking at me going, well, what are you going to do now? Yo, what's going on? Sean Murphy here. Welcome to the video. On today's video, I'm going to be talking about how I went from living in constant fear, anxiety, depression that really was taking me down this deep, dark road and ultimately led me to a suicide attempt, but it was also causing me to sabotage my own business. But I've been able to flip that all around now, and I really get to enjoy a lifestyle of peace and fulfillment, and yes, even more profit in my business. And so I share this with you today in hopes that you will use these same principles to create a positive impact in your own life as well as your business. And hey, if you're new to my channel, again, my name is Sean Murphy, and for the past several months now, I've been sharing biblical principles and success secrets that has impacted more than 160,000 people on my personal Facebook page. And the reason I started that was because I'm on a personal mission to really help the Christian entrepreneur navigate their businesses with biblical truth and wisdom. And so now I want to share these same principles with you in these short, bite-sized YouTube videos that you could extract the lesson and start applying it to your life today. So let's get right into the second installment of this new series that I'm calling the Solomon Project. So on my last video, I really talked about how King Solomon was gifted his wisdom by God, but how he was able to utilize that wisdom, monetize that wisdom in the form of public speaking. Yes, he was actually paid to not only share his wisdom with his kingdom, but people from afar would come to learn of his wisdom, and they would gift him with precious jewels and gold and livestock and the works. If you haven't missed that video, I got the link right here in the description below. You can check that one out right after you're done with this one. But where I want to go with today's video, the application that you could take out of today, is why did God bless Solomon with all this wisdom in the first place? And the reason I want to share this one lesson with you today is because if you can actually extract this and start applying it into your personal life as well as your professional life, I can guarantee you're going to have a lot more fulfillment and peace. Because again, this is the one thing that I lost sight of for so long, which really robbed me of my joy and my peace and even my fulfillment. And it was just a simple way that I was looking at doing things. So let's read all about this when we open up our Bibles today. And we're going to be in 1 Kings chapter 3. And we're starting with verse 5. The Lord appeared to Solomon during the night in a dream. And God said, "Ask for whatever you want me to give you." Solomon answered, "You have shown great kindness to your servant, my father David, because he was faithful to you and righteous and upright in heart. You have continued this great kindness to him and have given him a son to sit on this throne this very day." Just in case you didn't know, King Solomon was David's son, and at this time, he's about to inherit the kingdom. King David is on his deathbed, basically, and he's saying, son, you are going to inherit the kingdom of God. And by the way, if you keep your focus on the Lord, he has made this promise that we are going to have heirs to the throne for generations to come. But here's the problem. King Solomon was a very young lad, which we're going to read about here in a quick second. And so he's already kind of distraught. He's like, oh my gosh, I'm going to have all this authority. I'm going to have all this responsibility, and I want to make sure that I do a good job. So let's keep reading here. Now, O Lord, you have made your servant king in place of my father David, but I am only a little child and do not know how to carry out my duties. There's that fear right there, right? Your servant is here among the people you have chosen, a great people, too numerous to count. So his kingdom is so vast and so large, they don't know how many people are actually within this kingdom. It's like, this is just, the number is too vast, it's too wide. Like, I'm entrusted with all these lives? Like, really? So here's his ask. He said in verse 9, "So give your servant a discerning heart to govern your people and to distinguish between right and wrong. For who is able to govern this great people of yours?" Again, he's like, I can't do this, Lord, without knowing right from wrong, without having a discerning heart. I need this wisdom, Lord, in order to do right by the people that you're entrusting me with. Catch that. Verse 10, this is where it gets good. The Lord was pleased that Solomon had asked for this. So God said to him, "Since you have asked for this, and not for a long life or wealth for yourself, nor have you asked for the death of your enemies," and yes, they had many enemies, "but for discernment and administering justice, I will do what you have asked. I will give you a wise and discerning heart, so that there will never be anyone like you, nor will there ever be. And this is my conclusion right here, that King Solomon was indeed the wisest man to ever walk this earth, because God said, nor will there ever be. Moreover, this is where God just rains down the blessings, guys. Verse 13. Moreover, I will give you what you have not asked for, both riches and honor, so that in your lifetime you have no equal amongst kings. And if you walk in my ways and obey my statutes and commands as your father David did, I will give you a long life. Then Solomon awoke, and he realized it had been a dream. He returned to Jerusalem, stood before the ark of the Lord's covenant, and sacrificed burnt offerings and worship offerings. Then he gave a feast for all his court. So there's a lot to really unpack here, guys. But here's the biggest thing. This is what I missed in my own business, and this is what caused me despair. This is what caused me anxiety. This is what caused me depression. Is I turned the whole focus of my entire business on me. Basically, what I was doing was I made myself, I made my gym, I even made my clients my idols. And I put all the focus on, look at what I'm doing. This is how I'm succeeding. I was just full of pride, and I was so full of ego. Now, earlier, when I first started my gym, it was all about having that servant heart. I want to help others. I want to help others lose weight. I want to help others overcome pain that they might be having, the same type of pains that I was having with my lower back and things of that nature. But somewhere along the way, I lost focus, and I started bringing it all inwardly on me. And so because I was making myself the idol, and I was all pride and full of ego, and look at what I'm doing, and this is how successful our business is, and look what I'm doing over here with these clients and losing all this weight and X, Y, and Z and all that. Well, I had to keep living up to that image. I kept having to get better and better at my business, and I kept putting all the pressure now on myself to live up to these standards, to live up to this way. And then when I had a couple mistakes in business and I got some negative reviews, man, I'd start taking the hits, and I started taking them personally, and I had nowhere to run. I had nowhere to go because I had made it all about me. Well, guess what? Now everybody's looking at me going, well, what are you going to do now? When I had clients who were upset at me, when I had negative reviews coming in, when I had coaches walking off the floor and quitting because I was getting angry and I was getting frustrated, and I was passing the blame, by the way, to other people. But if I had just kept my eyes focused on God's glory, and that my ability comes from Him, that my gifts come from Him, that the people that were even coming into my gym were all handed to me through Him, because this was an opportunity to serve people. This was an opportunity to do God's work. But I forgot all about that, guys. And so here's my flip. Here's the change that's happened to me in my own personal life. It is no longer about me. Look at what I'm doing. Look at what I'm achieving. Look what we're doing over here. But it's all about being boastful in the Lord and His glory by understanding my assignment and serving the people that He has put in front of me today. And this is why I have so many people reaching out for help with their businesses, because I understand my assignment today. It's not about me. It's not about what I'm doing. It's about what God is doing. It's about His movement. It's about His kingdom and how He works through me, and He will do the same thing for you. So wrapping up this video, guys, I'm going to turn over to Colossians 3:23, and this is one of my biblical principles that I really lean on in my business today, where it says, whatever you do, work it with all of your heart. Hard work still matters, guys, but you're working it for the Lord, not for man. And that has given me peace, that has given me resolve, and that has given me fulfillment, because I know that I'm no longer really just trying to deliver results to my fellow man, which I do. I take that great responsibility for that, and I want to have that success in my business by helping other people. Sure, like these things are fine, but I'm not putting all the pressure on me anymore. I always talk about the words that I speak, the wisdom that I share is God's truth. It's God's wisdom. It's God that flows through me. And I am a mere vessel today, serving God and working for Him by just having that servant heart today, leaning on His good word for His truth and His wisdom, and then applying that into my own business and then sharing that with others like I'm doing here today. So my friends, if you got something out of today's video, if you learned something about having a discerning heart and gaining truth and wisdom and where that really comes from, I would invite you to just drop it right here in the comments, maybe what you picked up from this video today. And if you have any questions, if you have any dialogue, by the way, in which you would like me to elaborate on future videos, please drop that here in the comments as well. And don't forget to do all the other YouTube stuff here. Like this video, subscribe, ring that notification bell, because I'm going to be continuing this series of the Solomon Project right here along with you. And my hopes that this serves you and this blesses you, not only professionally, but personally as well. Oh, and by the way, do not forget to check out the description below. In there, I have the part 1 of the King Solomon series to make sure that you check out that video. But we also have a ton of free resources to help the Christian entrepreneur today. Whether you are first starting and brand new, and maybe you're just someone who's like, hey, I would like to step into this entrepreneurship world, but I don't know where to start, we have free resources for you there. We also have free resources with marketing and skill sets and things to further grow and enhance your business. So just check out the description here below for all of that stuff, and then let me know if you have any questions whatsoever. God bless you. I'll see you in the next video.